To announce the launch of their latest iPads, Apple released a new ad to show off just how much you can do with that tablet. It's an amazing tablet, so amazing in fact that you might not need all of the other objects that you have in your life that you love. So this led to a lot of backlash. Let's take a look at the ad, which was originally set to Sonny and Cher's All I Ever Need Is You, obviously copyrighted music, so we had to replace it so we could show you the ad. With that in mind, let's take a look. So before I read any of the backlash Apple received as a result of that ad, after I watched it, I just thought to myself, look, the visual of all of these creative, like these objects that facilitate people's creativity, right? Watching all of that get crushed is probably a little triggering for people, right? Because those are the things, those are the objects that typically have to do with hobbies people turn to because they're genuinely interested in it. They get to experience and express their creativity, and it's usually something completely outside of the work they have to do so they can pay the bills. It's something that they go to for comfort, for creativity, for mental stimulation. To see in an ad all of these different objects get crushed, it would be like me seeing like salsa shoes get crushed, right? Or a tutu, I used to do ballet. Like those are things that
Or a painting of Charlie.
Oh my God. Oh my God, okay. Why would you do that to me, Cenk?
Okay, so how mad would you be?
No, I'd be furious.
Yeah. So listen, guys, let me tell you why they did it, and let me tell you, build on what Anna's saying on why it's so disastrous. And they've already apologized because it's such a bad idea. So the reason they did it is apparently there's crush videos, not apparently, I know. There's crush videos online. It's not even sexual, that's a different thing. Okay, so where like, oh, things break and then people like seeing them break, etc. And they thought it was cool. And obviously the idea here is you don't need all that stuff anymore. All you need is this really thin iPad, and isn't it cool that it has all the things that you love, but in this tiny little device, right? But my God, the minute you see that ad, you should have been like, no, viscerally, it's all wrong. All these things that are cute and fluffy and things that we love and things that give us joy and create and that we exercise creativity with and things that we can touch and feel, and you're crushing them like a monster. Oh, it's terrible.
There's so many wonderful things in that video that are getting crushed right now.
Like if you want to crush the paint, no problem, I get it, right? But you're crushing the piano. People love, and
the sculpture,
terrible, right? Let alone when you get to cutie little things like the Angry Birds and this little fella, poor guy. Okay.
Oh, the cameras,
the guitar, awful. The books. What are you crushing books for? That looks like a person, and then you're gonna crush the cutest thing. Well, I don't know about the cutest thing in the world, but still cute, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's the visceral reaction. But actually, the worst of all of it is not any of this. It's the symbolism. Because back in 1984, they made this ad when this was a legendary ad where it was all about rebellion. And somebody comes in and throws basically kind of sledgehammer type of thing through a giant screen. And they're rebelling against authority, against the establishment. And they were the upstart company. They were all about be you, be different, be yourself, etc. Don't go along, don't obey. So that was their original thing that people loved about the Macs. It was different and it allowed you to be an individual. Whereas when I saw that device crushing all those things, I thought that is a perfect symbol of corporate rule. Like corporations just squeezing the life out of us lower wages, less health care, less all good things that you love, work, and as for as low pay as you possibly can. And I've used that example, except I use a Star Wars trash compactor as the analogy, right? That we're all getting squeezed by corporate rule. And here is now a $3 trillion company, oftentimes the largest and most profitable company in the world, showing us how they crush all the things that we love. You could not get worse symbolism and diametrically opposed to how they started the company. And hence, unfortunately, a good symbol of a lot of runaway public corporations that trade on the stock market.
And like so were they trying to reference that older ad?
No.
Okay, so like what was the point of that ad? Was it that, oh, look at our tablet, it's so...
It has all those things in one tiny little place, you don't need them anymore, but people love those things.
But it doesn't. It doesn't have all those things.
And you can't play a guitar on your iPad. Maybe you could listen to it, maybe you could do a thing that simulates it, but you can't actually play the guitar on your iPad. And so...
I have to say one other thing. I don't think they meant to message this, but if they did, it's just a disaster, right? Like, so you see all of these things that people love, that they use to express their creativity, getting crushed and destroyed. The one thing that doesn't get crushed and destroyed is that tablet. That tablet is the easiest thing in the world to crush and destroy. You could literally accidentally put it down on the table a little too rough and it's gonna crack, okay? Like, I hated everything about that ad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So let's do their apology.
Yeah, so they did apologize. Other people chimed in, by the way. I wanted to give you a quick comment from Apple's Vice President of Marketing, Tor, who says creativity is in our DNA at Apple. And is it? And it's incredibly important to us to design products that empower creatives all over the world. Our goal is to always celebrate the myriad of ways users express themselves and bring their ideas to life through iPad. We missed the mark with this video and we're sorry.
Yeah, so there's a last piece of symbolism that I think is powerful and I'm sure they didn't intend, but Tim Scott, also the CEO,
not Tim Scott, Tim Cook.
Tim Cook, that's funny because I just did the same thing Trump did. Trump called him Tim Apple. I was like, wait, Tim Scott, that doesn't sound right. Okay, thank you, Anna. Tim Cook said that he believes in the power, along with this launch, the power of and potential of AI. And as people see their creative endeavors being crushed by AI, for him to celebrate AI as they're launching a product that crushes all of these creative things, Jesus, you just can't get any worse symbolism. I mean,
that's such a good point.
Poor Bud Light, they sent one beer can to a person who was trans, and they lost 25% of their market cap.
Yeah.
When it was like, no big deal, they sent beer cans to a whole bunch of influencers, no big deal, and besides, so what, right? Whereas this probably will not affect Apple anywhere near what that controversy did with Bud Light, but it should. This shows you what all of those people and there had to be hundreds of people involved in making this ad. They all approved it and they all thought this is the new Apple. And now it's Goliath and not David. And that's telling. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.